Hello and welcome to Living in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Evan Beal, and on today's episode, we're going to tell you what to do in Fishers, Indiana. Now, here's what you need to know before moving to Fishers, Indiana, this booming northeast suburb of Indianapolis. But before we get to that, if you like this type of content, leave a like. It's a nice thing to do. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you're kept in the loop on everything happening in and around the Circle City, Indianapolis, this place that we love and call home. Now with that, let's dive into it. So you're thinking about moving to Fishers, Indiana, or you're already committed to it and you're ready to it and you're like, let's go look at some houses. That's great. Fishers is booming, so you are not alone. There are still plenty of new build options in Fishers, and there are tons of existing construction options. If you're looking on the apartment scene, there's a lot of really excellent apartments in Fishers as well. There's tons of basically brand new apartments in the Fishers district and the Nickel Plate district in downtown Fishers, as well as some further out as well. So no matter what your housing needs are, there are tons of options in Fishers, but you need to be well prepared if you're planning to move to this area. You don't want to just jump into it and not really thoroughly think through what you need to do before getting there. So let's cover it today. And number one is you want to acclimate yourself with the layout of Fishers. So there are some main districts within Fishers. You have the Nickel Plate district, which is sort of the heart of Fishers, the downtown. It's where the city center is. You have the amphitheater there. You have the police and fire station and tons of tall buildings, apartments, businesses, lots of commerce. It is the most happening place. To use a very old word in Fishers. There's tons to do there. That's where you see the main events happening. And it's really, really boomed over the last several years, over the last decade or so. And you see a lot of new construction there, but it's really developed now. And so you start to see other areas that is where the new construction is focused. So you really want to explore the Nickel Plate district. And then the good news is it's a great place to walk around. There are parks there. There's dedicated green space. It's not just, commercialized area. It's a beautiful area as well. So really familiarize yourself with that downtown, because that's where, the Fisher Spark Festival is going to happen. That's where some of the different events are going to happen. The amphitheater has regular concerts there that are sponsored by different people. There are different events that happen in the fields there. So you really want to get to know the area. Oh, I'd like to mention that's where the farmers market is as well on Saturdays. So check out the Nickel Plate district first, and then head on over to the Fishers district. Fishers district is actually even newer than the Nickel Plate district. Man, that's a hard sentence to say fast. But check it out, because it is a very trendy area, is the word I would use. There are mixed use buildings where you have businesses, restaurants, apartments. It's kind of almost like an outdoor mall type of feel, but it's also got the living component of it. So the Fishers district is so cool. It's so new and vibrant feeling, and you see all these different types of businesses in one area where there's lots of really great restaurants, the types of which you won't see elsewhere. There are local businesses or bespoke restaurants where they're dedicated to a type of food or healthier food. You see there's a pet store there, but it's a really nice pet store. There's boutiques. There's just all sorts of businesses there, and it's really cool. It's a cool area to walk around. It's very walkable if you live there. There's a Kroger just down the street. And actually the Fishers district itself is just down 116th from the Nickel Plate district. So they're a couple minutes away from each other by car. And you have everything you need in terms of walkability are in these two areas. So if you're looking for an area with a walkable downtown, Fishers is a great fit for that. But you need to explore it to know where could the best fit for you be. Another district of Fishers, totally separate from these two, is the Geist district. And Geist, I've covered it before, is split up into different areas. You have the Indianapolis part, McCordsville touches Geist, and the sort of northern half is Fishers. It's in Hamilton County, and so it's called the Fishers District. And you can tell the difference because all of a sudden there start to be roundabouts around Geist. And if you know anything about Hamilton County, you know that roundabouts are all over the place. Check out our video on it. But you will see the blue and green and white of Fishers prominently displayed in the Geist District. So if you are looking for luxury housing, if you're looking for a boating community, if you like more of the nature feel around your house, heavily wooded areas, this is where the Geist District comes into play. You know, the other districts we talked about are more like a city feel, right? You have tall buildings, you have walkable areas. That's not Geist. You can walk throughout Geist. A lot of people love to jog and run through the area. You can ride your boat during the boating season, but it is an area that is built around nature. You see little pockets of commercial districts where there'll be a few businesses here or there. This sort of what I would consider the Geist downtown has like a Mexican restaurant and a seafood restaurant and a butcher shop and a florist, and there's like insurance there, but it's not huge, right? It's a small pocket, and you see that throughout the Geist area where there'll be some restaurants here, some restaurants here, and you don't see any overwhelming commercialization. So if that's your vibe, if you want like mature trees, most of the homes in Geist are a little bit on the older side. There's not really much new construction in Geist proper outside of Cambridge if you're looking at custom luxury homes. So if you're looking for that more mature, built up over time community, the Geist District could be that area. But there are tons of areas across Fishers. It's not just these three districts. You keep going north. Keep going north. There's a whole swath of Fishers. It's a city of 104,000 plus people. But you can keep driving north in Fishers. Eventually you're going to hit Noblesville, but explore the different areas. I don't want to belabor the point here to make this video 10 hours long. Explore the different areas of Fishers. What you will see is there's a lot of consistency from area to area throughout Fishers. And I've talked about this in kind of what I love and hate about the different suburbs around Indianapolis. You can say there's almost too much consistency throughout Fishers. In terms of like the types of housing that's available, but there are different pockets depending on what you're looking for. Maybe you want to be in Fishers High School versus Hamilton Southeastern High School. Both are highly rated according to our state school rankings, but that could depend on where you live. Maybe you want to be near a certain park or a certain district within Fishers. That's the first thing you need to consider when you're moving to this area, because not all of Fishers, I know I said a lot of the housing options are similar. Not all the areas are exactly the same though. There's different vibes depending on where you are. And it's a big city. It's not as big as Indianapolis, obviously, but it is a big city with different pockets in it depending on what you're looking for. So get that exploration. Take a couple days. Work with me or work with someone else, to explore these different areas. That is number one, first and foremost, and that's why I want to cover it first. Number two, and I promise I'm going to keep these a little quicker. The first one was the most important point. That's why it's long. Number two is check out and research the local schools. There are a ton of really great, highly rated schools in and around the Fishers area, and really throughout Indianapolis. Indianapolis has an excellent educational scene, in and around the city. So check out what's going to be, the best fit for you and your family. There are very highly rated, according to the rankings, public schools in Fishers, in Hamilton Southeastern. So 2 great high schools and just a ton of different options depending on where you live. There's also a lot of private schools in the area, in Fishers, in Carmel, in Indianapolis, down in Castleton. So depending on what you're looking for, there are public and private school options, but that could change where you're looking to move within the area. You may want a neighborhood that's closer to the school you ultimately have your kids going to. Depending on that educational path that you're aiming for, it could change where you would, best look in the city in terms of keeping that commute time down. That may not be a consideration for you, but on a day-to-day basis, that can really, cut down commute times, or you can plan, let's say you work downtown or you work in Carmel, you can plan that route accordingly to make it, more of an integral part of your life instead of just kind of having to go one way and then having to go another way. So think about where what you're thinking in terms of school. If you're thinking public school, private school, which school, there's lots of options, and there are a lot of great options in the area, but it's something to keep in mind when you're planning. The third thing is get out and explore some nature. Fishers has one of the best park systems around Indianapolis. There are parks for anything you could want. If you want sports, there are parks for sporting. You can head off of Cumberland and go play some soccer. If you want trails, there are parks for trails. Check out our Fishers vlog and you can see me walking through the forest on one of the beautiful trails in Fishers. And there's really just a plethora of different options. There's wonderful playgrounds. You have like Cynthia Ann Park. You have, I don't know, man, there are just parks everywhere. You have parks in downtown Fishers as well. You have the amphitheater in downtown Fishers. So figure out what kind of green space is a good fit for you. Now, these are not super hard to get to no matter where you live in Fishers. You can get there pretty quick. You can get there within 15 minutes probably, no matter what area of Fishers you're on. But it's something to definitely get out and explore. If some communities actually have a walking trail built in the community as well. So some of the areas that are still building in Fishers, like in the Cynthia Ann area, you may have walking trail abilities in some of those neighborhoods where you can get a new construction home, which is really cool. So think about the amenities you want on a day-to-day basis, because that's what you need to plan for. So you're looking at these different districts in Fishers. You're looking at your different educational options. You're looking at your different outdoor options. This is definitely important when you're looking for the vibe of your day-to-day life. Where is the best vibe, the best neighborhood that's going to ultimately fit your lifestyle, your job, what you're looking for. And number 4, similarly, take in some local events. So whether you're here in July or October, you can go to Boo Bash, you can go to Spark. There's tons of festivals. There's really in the Nickel Plate district, it feels like there's always something happening. Whether it's privately put on, publicly put on, whatever. There's concerts. You need to take in some of the local culture and local flavor to get a taste of Fishers. Go to a minor league game in the Fishers Event Center, whether you want to see volleyball with the Indy Ignite, whether you want to see indoor football with the Fishers Freight, you want to see the Indy Fuel, that now that they moved to Fishers from the fairgrounds in Indianapolis previously. You can even drive up, and it's not in Fishers, but you can drive up to Noblesville, go check out the Boom, formerly the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. They're just up the road in Noblesville. Take in some of these local things. See if Fishers is a good vibe fit for you. There is a ton of stuff to do. There's a ton of stuff across different things. Whether you're looking for sports, whether you're looking for community events, whether you're looking for parks, really get out and explore these different areas to see if Fishers feels like that right home for you, if it is a good fit for your lifestyle. So, Fishers, depending on what you look for, Fishers wouldn't have like a crazy, nightlife scene. In Indianapolis, may have that in different pockets of Indianapolis. Fishers, maybe not as much. If you're looking for, like motorsports, you're like, I love sports, but I love motorsports. Well, those are going to be out more on the west side of town, in Speedway, Brownsburg area. There are options for that. And different communities are going to have different features that make them what they are, build a culture of that community. Fishers has a lot to do. It may not be the exact things that you want to do though. And that's why it's so important to take in some of the local flavor. Try the local restaurants, walk around these different districts. There are tons of just great places to walk in Fishers, whether you're walking around the Nickel Plate district, whether you're in the parks, whether you're down in Geist. There's really no lack of options, and there's different vibes depending on where you live, where you want to live. And so I cannot recommend it highly enough. You gotta try it first. And then what's the last thing you need to do before you move to Fishers? You need to call me. I'm local. I am here to help with your move to Fishers. So whether you're just thinking about it, you have questions about it, whether you want a partner in it, just let me know. I'm here to help. And so with that, if you liked this video, if it was helpful for you before you move to the northeast corner of Indianapolis, leave a like, show that Hoosier hospitality. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you're kept in the loop on everything happening in and around Indianapolis, the Circle City that we love and call home. Let's make that a heart. Love. Yeah, check out the love video while you're there, suburbs and city. So, we love you here on this channel. It's a community. It's not just me. Make sure you leave a comment or send me a text or email. I'd love to hear from you. I want to hear what you want covered. We try to cover everything happening around the city, and we want you to be here in the loop for all of it. So with that, I'm Evan Deal with eXp Realty. This is Living in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we'll see you in the next one.